Hello and welcome to another FX Centrum daily market analysis. For today, I will go through our cross asset list. So we'll cover coffee market, WTI, US 100, USD Japanese yen, pound dollar, euro dollar, US 30, gold market, dollar index, and Bitcoin versus dollar. This will be interesting because we have a federal funds rate today in US, and FOMC statement, FOMC press conference, and FOMC economic projections. So we'll speak about some different scenarios on those liquid markets, and we will begin with the coffee market. So on the coffee market, we don't have any change since last update. We have a key support at 180.90 mark. This is the support cluster and the lower Bollinger Band. So we had some rejection of the lower Bollinger Band, but still market is trading in a broader, let's say, consolidation. So in case of that downside breakout of 180.85 mark, there will be a chance for a drop towards 175.80 or even 165.45. In case of the rejection, the upper Bollinger Band can be in the play around 192.25 and the resistance around 198 mark. Now WTI, we can see here yesterday's close not that strong. The close was in the middle, so close was away from the high, and still market is trading above the upper Bollinger Band, suggesting upside momentum. And we can see here that there was a test of this 83.60 mark yesterday, and pretty much rejection of that level. Let's take a look at the lower time frame, so like a 4-hour time frame. Seems like we're doing just a pullback, but there was some bearish divergences on this fast line. You can see on stochastic, lower high there and higher high on the price section, and this is probably the reason why we have this loss of momentum and this pullback so far in this downside movement. On the hourly time frame, I can see that market had this mini break and then pulled back to the middle Bollinger Band, but we're breaking now the middle Bollinger Band, so there is a chance for the retest of the lower Bollinger Band on hourly 82.50, and maybe even this pullback low around 82.22 mark. Slow and fast line is sloping to the downside on an hourly time frame. So let's see some potential around this FOMC meeting minutes and federal funds rate. So in case of a downside movement on the crude oil, we have a support and potential levels to watch around 80, let's say 81 mark and 79.78. So 81 mark is an area around previous swing highs in a daily, and 79.80 mark is a mid Bollinger Band on the daily time frame in case of some sharp downside move after the FOMC. In case of the upside breakout of this tail and yesterday's high and hold above 83.55, there will be a chance for the rally towards the 85.60, for example, which will be the next upside objective on oil. Now US 100, pretty much we have a flat environment prior to FOMC. And here we have the support area at 17,737. In case the downside breakout of that area, there will be a potential for the drop towards 17,340 and 17,170 mark. The resistance is set at the upper Bollinger Band at 18,330 mark and 18,400 mark. So consolidation is going so far for approximately like 2 or 3 weeks. You see the slow line is sloping to the downside, but the fast line just corrected. We had some similar pattern in the background. For example, at this point when the slow line just started to slope to the downside, and there was some kind of corrections on the fast line, and after that market traded lower. So is this like an up move in the last 2 days, just a correction for another downside move? It is possible, but we need to see the confirmation how the market will react of FOMC. In case of the bigger rally, for example, and break of 18,428, which is the price action resistance, there will be potential for 18,000, probably even a 19,000 mark to be on the test. But so far, based on this structure and stochastic environment, there can be a potential for the downside breakout. Just need the market confirmation for that. Now USD Japanese yen is doing pretty much what we spoke about in the previous days. So there was after this downside breakout and after the market dropped towards our first downside objective, we had rejection back into the Bollinger Band range, crash bull crossing stochastic, and here we had just a very narrow day around the middle Bollinger Band, which is for me was a sign of strength. And there we go, we're testing our upside objectives. We already reached the 150.90 mark, which was the first upside objective, and then the next one is this high from, I will say, like a mid-November last year. We have this high right here. So 151.90 mark or even 152 mark can be the next short-term upside objective. So let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. Look at how strong market is holding and building, and I mean, extended on a 4-hour, but it's just momentum is so strong and it's closing above the upper Bollinger Band. Volatility is pretty high. You can see that hourly. We didn't have even a natural pullback. We're doing now some natural pullback, but there's a very light natural pullbacks. Look at the 30-minute time frame. So we have also now some natural pullback. So there is a still chance for higher prices. Volatility is increasing, and there is a chance for 152 to be in the play. So this one is progressing pretty well since our last update. Pound dollar, let's take a look. We had a doji candle, we had a tail and the pin bar, but still slow and fast line and sloping to the downside. But we had some indecision day yesterday, so prior to this FOMC today. In the 4-hour time frame, we had a downside attempt to close below the lower Bollinger Band, but there was a more like divergences that started to and that showed. So look at the hourly, we have a down couple of closing below the lower Bollinger Band, and this can still be a natural reaction just towards the upper Bollinger Band. We missed the test upper Bollinger Band here. Now we kind of, there is a potential for resell on the hourly and take of this lower Bollinger Band. So there will be still chance for potential downside movement. Maybe market will need some kind of consolidation or so, but at 1.2600, 1.2600 areas can be in the play. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Have some similar view, pretty much like a doji candle, market close off the low, but still look at a slow and fast line. They're sloping to the downside. We have test rejected the lower Bollinger Band, natural pullback to the middle Bollinger Band. Take a look at the hourly time frame. We see the classic contraction after the down break. Market naturally pulled back to the middle Bollinger Band, and now we have this contraction. So possibly, if we can see more contraction here and more contraction on the Bollinger Bands and downside breakout, that will be a good sign for the downside continuation. Something similar that, for example, we had here. The market did a contraction and then the downside break, so we had this down move. So something similar we can see here. This is a good indication for the further downside movement. Now US30, if for example is trading near the upper Bollinger Band, but still within the trading range and boundaries, like resistance is set around 39,300 mark and 39,000 once, I will say 39,221 mark. There is a rate of change flip to the downside after 2 updates, so there will be a chance for a downside move to develop today. Maybe the middle Bollinger Band 38,900 or even this low around 38,730 can be in the play for today. In case of the upside breakout of this consolidation and break of 39,300, there will be a chance for a 39,700 and even the 40,000 mark to be in the play on the test. Gold market is doing consolidation again. A middle Bollinger Band is getting closer to the price, but still we didn't test that middle Bollinger Band. Fast and slow lines on stochastic oscillator sloping to the downside, suggesting there is still potential for some downside movement. So we have now middle Bollinger Band increased relative to yesterday to 21.32. Previous swing high at this point is at 20.92. And we have a swing high pin bar tail at 21.95. So let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. See just a consolidation, but still we're building lower highs and lower lows in the last couple of days. See the hourly time frame had a downside breaks, but market refused to go down and just went, and basically is oscillating around the boundaries of the upper and lower Bollinger Band, waiting for the event. But from my perspective, there is a still chance for a down move, at least towards the middle Bollinger Band on the daily time frame. And we have the dollar index. We had a close of the high, so close in the middle is not specifically a sign of strength. But still, if market can remain in this tail and eventually break this tail today on dollar index, break this 103.98, there will be a chance for the retest of 104.23 and maybe have an upper Bollinger Band in 104.35. So there is a still chance for some higher prices. Both slow and fast lines on stochastic are sloping to the upside. The 4-hour seems like more like in a pullback environment. Hourly already did a pullback to the middle Bollinger Band, now in contracting. So I will say if we see another take of this contraction and retake of 103.95, there will be a chance for the further rally. In case of the downside move, for example, for today in the middle Bollinger Band around 103.45 can act like support. And then we have a Bitcoin versus US dollar. This is something I mentioned yesterday. So the potential for the down move towards 61,000 and even 59,000, and there we are. Basically, our downside objective was reached relative to yesterday's analysis for the downside move, and this is how it so look at the 4-hour time frame. Those bear flags after the initial downbreak of the lower Bollinger Bands, they provided very good areas for the downside and sell opportunities. Now we're in the lower Bollinger Band, and this is pretty extended on the 4-hour, but still slow and fast line and sloping to the downside on stochastic oscillator on the daily time frame. And if the market drops below the 59, let's say 59,900 mark, 950 mark, the next downside objective at this point will be this consolidation area all the way around 53,000, and then the next one, bigger downside objective, will be this area around 45,000, where this Bollinger Band had this lower readings right there, 45,000. So in case of the bigger downside breakout, hourly just correcting, so we can see market is correcting, which is natural because it's trading near the lower Bollinger Band, so it's normal that markets try to correct towards the middle Bollinger Band on either hourly or 4-hour time frame, and then eventually can trade lower. We will see also what FOMC will bring and what kind of price action. And that will be all for this FX Centrum daily market analysis part. If you didn't visit our website fxcentrum.com, you can do that. fxcentrum.com. You can explore. We have different promotions, 100% deposit bonus, different trading competitions. You can open an account just in a few clicks, both real and the demo account, and of course explore our FXC TV area and section. Every day we're doing analysis on all of those liquid markets, at least one trading idea per week, and then different kind of tutorials and so on, and webinars also. We'll introduce webinars pretty soon, so stay tuned. Explore the website and subscribe on our social media and our YouTube channel. Stay tuned for more for the new updates. That will be all for this video. Have a good trading day and speak to you soon.